Alright guys, today we're going to be working through our Latin and South America presentation. This, along with your North America presentation, will be on your test Thursday. So if you haven't taken the notes over North America yet, go back and do that. Make sure to take notes over this. Both will be on your test, so let's get started. Some general information. Latin America are countries in North and South America where Latin languages are spoken. These languages include Spanish, Portuguese, and French. South America is the fourth largest continent. Your notes say the fourth. I know the slide says the fifth. Don't worry about changing it. The fourth most populous continent and where most Latin countries are. Remember to pause if you need to take notes and then continue on. So some countries you got to know in South America include Venezuela, Guyana, French Guiana, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Suriname. Some physical features include the Amazon rainforest, which is right here, the Amazon River, Mount Aconcagua here in the Andes, the Andes Mountains, Pampas Lowlands, Patagonia, the Caribbean Sea, and Cape Horn. So some landforms that we're going to need to know. You have the Sierra Madre Occidental, and the Sierra Madre Oriental. The Occidental is on the west side of Mexico, and the Oriental is on the east, and they are both mountain ranges. The Chicxulub crater, which is the second largest crater impact site in the world. It was formed by an asteroid hitting Earth 6 million years ago. It is 93 miles wide and 12 miles deep. The Amazon rainforest, it is considered the lungs of the planet. It has 4 canopy layers. Up here we have the emergent layer. Below that is the canopy, where a lot of the wildlife reside. The understory is below the canopy, and then the forest floor. It has half of the world's flora, or plants, and fauna animals. It creates 20% of the oxygen supply for the world. 1 acre of it is deforested per second. And it once covered 14% of the world, and now only covers about 6%. 54% of the rainforest in the entire world is housed here. So I want you to go and follow this link, watch this video, and answer the questions as you go on your Pear Deck. This will talk to you about the Amazon rainforest, how deforestation happened, why it's happening, and where the Amazon stands today. When you finish the video, come back and continue your lesson. The Pampas versus Patagonia. The Pampas are low-lying grasslands in the middle of South America, and they begin in the foothills of the Andes and end at the Atlantic Ocean. Patagonia, on the other hand, is considered the end of the world. It's a windy desert in southern South America, and it is very sparsely populated. The Andes Mountains are the longest mountain range in the world. They are located in western South America over here in Chile, and they are 4,350 miles long. The Atacama Desert is the driest place on Earth, and it was created by cool ocean currents and the rain shadow effect. Now, you may be wondering what the rain shadow effect is. It is created by mountains where only one side gets precipitation. So there's very little rain on the other side. So little rain from cool ocean currents on the Pacific plus the rain shadow effect blocking the rain on the west side of the Andes makes a rainless desert. Mount Aconcagua, which is the highest mountain in South America. It is located in Argentina. It is in the southern Andes Mountains, and it stands at 22,837 feet tall. Cape Horn is the southernmost point, well, kind of South America. It is where the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans meet. It is known for its dangerous winds, strong currents, and icebergs. So on your Pear Deck, I want you to name that landform. We just went through them, so they should be fresh in your mind. For some water features that are important, we have the Rio Grande. These are just for review, which is the river that separates the U.S. and Mexico. It actually means big river. We have the Gulf of Mexico, which is a deep, flat gulf separating the U.S. and Mexico. And then we have the Straits of Florida, which is a waterway between Florida and Cuba, and it is 93 miles wide. We have the Great Blue Hole, which is a sinkhole located in Belize with clear blue waters. It is famous for scuba diving. It is 1,043 feet wide and 407 feet deep. The Caribbean Sea is the sea separating the islands of the Caribbean and South America. It's named after the cannibal native tribes, the Caribs. The Panama Canal is a man-made waterway connecting the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. It's 48 miles long. The French started building it, and then the U.S. finished it in 1914, and the U.S. gave up ownership in 2000. It takes 10 hours to travel through all the locks of the canal. Here's another video for you to watch, just like the one before. I want you to pause the lecture, follow the link on your Pear Deck, and answer as you go. When you finish, come back. The Amazon River is the second longest river in the world. It is 4,000 miles long. It carries more fresh water than any other river, and it has over 2,000 species of fish, including the kangaroo. Angel Falls is the world's longest waterfall. It's located in Venezuela. It is 3,210 feet long, and it's named after European explorer James Angel. We have the Drake Passage, which is the waterway between South America and Antarctica. It's down here around Cape Horn. It is dangerous. It has dangerous currents, storms, and wind, and it is 500 miles wide. So once again, on your Pear Deck, name that feature. And lastly, some human features of Latin and South America. We have Mexico City, which is the capital of Mexico, also known as the Ciudad de Mexico. It was built on the former capital of ancient Aztec natives, and it has a population of 8.92 million people. We have Lima, which is the capital of Peru and has 9 million people. Santiago, which is the capital of Chile, and it has 6.12 million people. Havana, which is located in Cuba, and it is the capital of Cuba. It has 2.13 million people. Cuba is known for Fidel Castro, who was its former communist leader, and he died in 2016. Another interesting thing about Cuba is it houses Guantanamo Bay, which is a U.S. naval base and a prison famous for torturing its prisoners. We have Brasilia, which is the capital of Brazil, and it has 2.97 million people. Only Portuguese-speaking country in South America, which is kind of crazy to think about because the Spanish and Portuguese explored a whole lot of the world, but this is really the only Portuguese-speaking country in the whole continent. So now we have Rio, which means January River. It's popular for samba dancing, blue skies, and Christ the Redeemer. Here's a picture of Christ the Redeemer, and down here is Miss Casey. And here are the abandoned Olympic stadiums from when Rio held the Olympics a couple of summers ago. It's kind of crazy to see them now all empty and not as colorful or well kept. So on your Pear Deck, I want you to type the capital city under each country below. You will need to know them for your test on Thursday. So we have Easter Island, which is an island in the Pacific west of South America. It is known for large, ancient carved heads. They're kind of funny looking over here. The Falkland Islands fight was a 1982 war over who controls the Falklands, which are these set of islands in the South Atlantic. It was a fight between Great Britain and Argentina. It lasted 10 weeks. Great Britain won, and they still own the Falkland Islands today. Machu Picchu is the famous lost city of the Incans. It was not discovered by explorers until 1911, and it's located in Peru. The Treaty of Tordesillas is a 1494 line created by Spanish and Portuguese travelers and rulers that decided who could explore where in the world. This is the reason that most countries speak Spanish, but Brazil speaks Portuguese, because the Portuguese line moves out to here, whereas Spain only moves here. On your Pear Deck, go ahead and answer, then come back. And that is all for our South American presentation. Make sure that you've got the notes. Go back if you missed anything. Make sure you're working off of your Pear Deck. Email me if you have any questions. Don't forget, we have a test coming up this Thursday on 10/22. So make sure all of the lectures have been watched, and let me know if you have any questions.